All right, game number 3 coming at you guys. BMG versus Willow Keeper. This is it, determining which team stays alive, moving on to face Mint, aka Fresh in the next round. Which team will be done here in cycle number 8? And again, extra important meaning because BMG, if they lose here, there is a chance they could drop down to 4th place, as they're currently sitting in that 3rd place spot going into the playoffs. And you know that'll change things a little bit as far as the standings go into the playoffs. And you know we keep on talking, bringing that up. So important for that reason, amongst others, such as even the prize pool and everything else. So, anyways, finishing the first part of the draft already. Already some interesting stuff to talk about. The initial bans were Warbeast, Riftwalker, Dr. Repulsor, and Kraken. The picks, first pick Deadwood by Tree, so prioritizing him into Parasite, Torture into Bubbles, and there we go with Clanks into Behemoth coming out. So that's a fun finish to the first tier of drafts here.
Yeah, and obviously BMG do change up their strategy from Game 1 and Game 2. They pick up Parasite and Bubbles as well as Behemoth, so they're obviously not going to go for the sort of team fight and group up and push sort of style of draft they had in Game 1 and Game 2. And I think Tree realised that as well, and that's why they first picked the Deadwood. Like Deadwood is a great hero if you know, you're going against those maybe late game style of drafts, or you're going against a sort of gank style of drafts, because you know Deadwood can set up a lot of kills. Whereas if you're playing a Deadwood against like a group up and sort of team fight hero, I mean the Deadwood's still good, but you don't find as many of ganks and pickoffs as you normally would do when you're going against other kind of style of drafts. So I do like this pick, and they're playing with Clanks as well, a nice Tree signature hero here for Balthazar. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of see what BMG are going to try and do to sort of shut him down. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely showing that he knows what he's doing with this hero. Obviously, Reason Gaming has been doing a little bit recently too. In fact, last cycle against Sync Esports, we did see Imba Boy running it for them, and you know, getting some success as well. So this is definitely becoming more and more of a hero that is gaining attention amongst several teams. So not a big surprise to see it picked up here by Tree. What Balthazar is going to be able to do with it in his hands can get very scary if you let him get that decent farm, which is hard to stop. With that said. Of course, of how the hero works. Puppet Master, Magnus, Silhouette, Flux, Moon Queen, and Madman were the follow-up bans. There's the Geomancer pick again. So Tree did this in Game 1 as well. They went to Geomancer. Root of Z ended up playing it. Didn't result in a victory in the end, but going to give it another shot here and try out the Geomancer. So
yeah, and as you can see from the bans as well, like Tree or Fusion in particular is obviously very, very scared of potential late game sort of style of draft on Haxtra, maybe playing the Moon Queen or the Silhouette, or even more sort of a ganking style of carry from Puppet Master. I mean, there's two ways that BMG can sort of follow up. They can go for even more sort of gank, maybe they pick up a carry like you know, maybe Wretched Hag, or even maybe like a Sandwraith, or even like a Dampier, something that Reason Game like to do. Or they might go even sort of super late game hard carry, maybe like a Dark Lady or a Mage Maiden, for example. Both of which Haxtron is very much attuned to. Pick up Nymphora, which sort of tells me maybe they might go for like a Dampier style of carry, depending on what Tree finish off here. It looks like they might need a Suicide, it looks like, and Cthulhu is being right-clicked by Box here.
This is looking like a very Reason gaming lineup.
Yeah.
Coming out for BMG here. So definitely interesting stuff there. But yeah, with the jungle, I mean, so that means Behemoth is going to be more of a ganking, more of a mid Behemoth even, I guess, and a farming Behemoth, you could say. This is interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess so. But I mean, they could run maybe their carry. Oh no! Yeah, you're right. Actually, they've got Parasite as well. I didn't even realise they had Parasite. Yeah, no, you're right, Breaky. It looks like it's going to be a Super KG Behemoth. And we haven't seen this. Yeah, sorry, Breaky. I didn't know what you was. I was like, Breaky, what are you on, man? Like, I thought you just. I was like, what the hell?
This time it made sense.
Yeah. This reminds me of like B-Kid back in the day when he used to play Behemoth mid, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to sort of see. It can be clutch in terms of initiation. Its gank potential is obviously not the same as, say, like a Deadwood or another normal mid hero, but I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if Super KG's been playing a lot of mid Behemoth, but
yeah, you know, when it comes to solo kill potential, yeah, not up there with the Pebbles and Deadwood, but definitely great artist at setting things up and putting him in a spot to make sure to get priority to get that Portal KSAP is definitely could result in good things. So Witchslayer is the final pick from Tree, and that also makes things interesting. So it is going to be a Suicide Geomancer then?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And then second support, Witchler. We saw Witchler yesterday, didn't we? But it was on the solo support role when he had a jungler, which is Warbeast. BMG played it, actually. And, I mean, I love Witchler, but I don't think he is a solo support. Like, he needs to be run as like the 4 position. He needs a bit of farm, particularly the XP. And they do run the Sandwraith, though. So they are going to go for this sort of Genkin style of lineup. I mean, Sandwraith can easily go take it to the late game. He doesn't have the greatest farming potential, but can definitely assist in these ganks. So yeah, interesting to see here.
A lot of global presence. A lot of global presence. Obviously, Sandwraith alone, but then you throw in Infora with what she can do with the porting, something like that. Behemoth with good farm that can set up ganks pretty quickly at certain locations. So the tree is going to need to be on their toes as far as being prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I do like what BMG have done though, because like game one it worked. You know, maybe it was a surprise factor from Tree, and then Tree said, look, we did something wrong. You know, we know how to counter it in game 2. And now on game 3, BMG have said, look, we've got to switch up our draft completely, and that's what they've done here. Gone for a more of a ganking style of lineup, and yeah, Tree will definitely have to be on their toes to sort of react to it. Tree, the one advantage they have in this draft is I think their carry can farm a lot faster than Haxtrin. I think both are very scary in the late game. So I think on that alone, BMG have to get their farm from kills, whereas Tree always have the late game and sort of the backup of farming with Clanks here in this game.
Yeah. By the way, Shrek is Love did defeat Prime Icarus, aka Team Who, or Who That, or anyways, Prime Icarus, and they defeated them 2-0. So Shrek is Love moving on to face Nullstone Gaming in their round 2 matchup at the loose bracket. That'll be later on today. But again, the winner of this will be playing Fresh in the next series as well, which definitely I think that'll be the one we look to cover, because no matter which team here moves on, it's going to be a great series, of course, no matter what. Geomancer, this skin for a Geomancer, man, that's freaking drill. It's making some crazy noises here. Anyways, but yeah, seeing it in Boxy's hands, it's good to see as well. Like I said, in the first game, it was being played with Riddick. Not that he doesn't play well by any means, but I think that the Boxy, the suicide play that he can do with it, it's fun to watch, and really takes advantage of that Earth's Grasp, man. That's I think an underrated tool, and you think of again, this is a hero that really isn't picked up at all other than Tree, and that's even very rare in itself. But Earth's Grasp is not something to scoff at, as they say. It's a pretty powerful tool, not only in the laning phase for harassment, but even for just farming with throughout the game. He talked about the game one, and he was using that to basically jungle as well as the game picked up. So can't underestimate the power of that ability. But yeah, the farming behemoth, that's going to be intriguing, man, to see where Super KG goes with this.
Yeah. I honestly, we haven't seen it for such a long time. I think that obviously the biggest issue, obviously, he doesn't have the greatest solo kill potential, and the effect and the impact that Behemoth has as a hero is that a support could do maybe the same impact. The big Fisher, the big godly initiation when he gets portal key. A support can do that if he gets a little bit of farm, whereas a core, what does he add? So much more that he has to be played as a core that he couldn't do as a support kind of thing. And that's my biggest question, honestly. Obviously, he's going to get those levels and that farm a little bit earlier than the support would, and maybe have more farm at the end of the game. But yeah, I think honestly, I think Super KG has to perform here to really convince me. Because I mean, I love Behemoth as a hero, but I'm still in favour of it being sort of support. I mean,
absolutely.
Who knows, though?
You figure they basically picked up Behemoth instead of a Pebbles. It's what they did.
Yeah, exactly.
Here.
And I think for it to say, oh yeah, for me to be completely sold, I have to say, oh, this is the reason why they picked up. And a core Behemoth does so much more than say a support Behemoth, for example. But it could be that the same thing that they saw an Infra on the board. They've already picked up Parasite as well, and they already had. They said, oh, we've got the Behemoth here as well. We have to run him as a mid kind of thing. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to. I mean, I love Behemoth as a hero, though. The Fisher just is such a great ability, and the godly initiations. Although there might be some engagement up here. No, I don't think they can catch.
Saw last game a lot of early engagement, but not so much this time around. Yeah, no catch. Playing it safe and get the distance needed. Stay alive right there. But you see all 5 of Tree just continuing to move along as a team. So again, where will everyone end up? It seems like should be pretty self-explanatory here as far as where they... Well, as Torch are going to be going top, it looks like.
They put this really aggressive ward, actually, which tends to makes me believe that I think the reason why they place this ward is that it allows vision of this sort of top area here, as well as the bottom area here, which spots out Parasite's rotations. If they have the regular ward of sight on the left, it only spots the bottom halves, but doesn't spot the top half. So, it does look like Torture is going to be stuck up here because of this ward placement. So, yeah, it's going to give him first harassment potential. And it makes sense, I guess. They want to shut down Sandro from the start. And, you know, with Nymfora's weak laning phase, even though it's been sitting mid, you know, oh my god, I thought that block was going to happen. But on Deadwood, it didn't happen. Yeah, this is good. I like them putting Torture up here.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Jareth is in trouble, actually. He's taking a lot of damage with the creeps as well. He's going to try to get away. The Skeleton King! Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. That was a great attempt right there. I mean, yeah, I was going to say, obviously they had no clue Torture was there. He's been very patient, waiting for the best time to go, and, you know, figured he found it. And they also got the creep wave pulled into the jungle, so Samwraith is really kind of screwed up here.
Yep.
As a result of the start. So, yeah, talk about we're trying to lock him down, make sure he's not going to get some good farm to start. Well, they're already accomplishing that pretty damn well here.
Yeah, he's going to lose this creep wave here as well. Oh, this is really big, actually. Torture already level 2. Samwraith is going to have 1v1 against Geomancer anyway, but with Torture already having that impact is annoying. It looks like he's going to rotate over mid as well. Maybe try and set something up on the Nymfora, perhaps, or...
Yeah,
it might be.
That would be the idea, and definitely possible. In fact, he's going to go in. That's just set up a Rongrath perfectly. However, this Heal Stone will connect as well as the Fissure Stun, and Deadwood just cannot get there in time, but it still might be enough. The Impalement damage, one more attack. No, it is enough. The stun comes out, and Fusing really gets the kill. Play. He just had enough mana to do that as well. Boy, oh boy.
That was all because the creep wave went into the hard camp here on the left, gave him very, very early level 2. Like, he was level 2 before Samwraith got level 2 there because of that rotation. So really nice play from Fusen. And Samwraith again.
Jeez. Yeah, you mentioned, I mean, Geomancer is, or especially with the advantage, he is a difficult hero to lane against. And a 1v1, especially as another melee hero, so Boxy taking advantage. But yeah, it's kind of funny too. Fusen, I believe, has gotten the Bloodlust kill all 3 games now. And, so speaking of the flash sale, there you go. Torture this time, though. At least it wasn't Glacius once again, so. Yeah, at least a little bit of a change up there, which, again, Beef will have info on shortly, I'm sure. But yeah, it's definitely he's definitely been a huge impact already to start. Of course, already up to 285 gold per minute. Top farmer in the game, Fusen. Not often you're going to say that, but he's managing that here. Level 1 Witch Slayer still, so. Letting Clanks take all the farm down here, understandably so.
He's got a double pull camp here, though, so he's going to get eventually his levels. I would actually like to see Torturer stay either mid or top, though, because not only does he have an impact in those 2 lanes, but also it allows Witch Slayer to get a lot of the XP. Like, if they're running a tri-lane down here, both of the swords are going to be under-leveled. So I would like to see Torturer maybe rotate top or even stay top or mid. Because now Witch Slayer has sort of share experience with Torture, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, Witch Slayer's not having an issue boxing out the bubbles, so I'm not 100% sure why Torture is still down there. Actually, Geomancer top lane.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble right here. Leech, oh, the health push in the last second. He's gonna get away. Are you kidding me? Oh man, he destroyed it. Yeah, as far as that too.
Health pot is still ticking. If he got hit by it, you know, health pot would have been stopped. But yeah, really nice play there from Boxy. So. Clutch plays.
Big play indeed, and yeah, definitely showing again why he's comfortable on this here. So even with 3 heroes trying to gank him, able to stay alive and wasting their time in a sense.
Yeah, nice play. But yeah, this Torture staying down there. Like I don't think he's accomplishing much. Bubbles was being boxed out by the Witch Slayer anyway, and now with him not being top, then obviously they're pressuring the Geomancer as well. So. Yeah, I'm not too sure of why he's rotating or making this rotation, honestly. Maybe he wants to allow Witch Slayer to start maybe getting farm in the jungle, and because obviously Witch Slayer's going to get farm in the jungle, then someone needs to box out the bubbles, perhaps. That could be the reasoning behind it, but Bubbles just seems to be maybe trying to set up a gank mid or top, perhaps.
Regen, Ruin, Behemoth has that Fissure Stun, going to block him off. And actually he's going to start boxing him out too, that's the idea. Yeah, good job by Super KG right there. Taking advantage of that Fissure Stun and gonna pick up that regen. Top lane. Okay. Just dive it. Is that gonna be enough for a kill? Oh man, if it wasn't for it still might be a kill. Yeah, digging in. He wants this kill, but no, he's not gonna get it. Desert Curse come out, and now Boxy, he does this a lot though, man. He's going YOLO. He wants the big plays. Now Bubbles is only level 1, but here comes Parasite. Yeah. We're gonna chase it now. So 4 heroes end up collapsing. And Bubbles hits level 2 because of that too, so
Yeah.
It's actually pretty big.
Well, I mean, he can't do anything against the dual support here. Oh, so that's what they were going to do, yeah. So obviously, like I said, the regional strategy of Tree is, get level 5 on the carry and then start rotating into the jungle and start farming that while giving the lane over to Witchslayer. And Torturous kind of needs to be down here because then obviously Torturous can box out the bubbles while Witchslayer's getting the farm. Man, Tree, whenever they do this strategy, they do it so well, and it runs like clockwork, honestly. They know exactly the timings, exactly how to do it, and it's just really nice to see, honestly. And being very, very efficient with their farming rotations as well.
See, as soon as he hit level 6, did Clanks right there. He actually pops the ultimate even, and is going to continue to farm with it, so of course that helps him that much more effectively clean up these stacks here. Yeah, you just see the GPM just start to skyrocket, man. That is ridiculous. You're right. It's like so clockwork, and that's it. That's why he's able to have so much farm right now, is because they're just on the ball with making sure the stacks are happening. And that's to BMG as well. Should also be somewhat aware of that. This isn't like a new strat coming out from Tree.
No,
they definitely do this all the time.
Yeah, like for 2 months practically now. I mean, the heroes do change from time to time. Sometimes it's the Swiftblade, sometimes it's the Doctor Repulsor. I mean, I've seen Alonia being picked up from Balthazar as well, and obviously now the Clanks as well. It's particularly when they play a secondary support that can't sort of jungle, like with Behemoth or Magmus or Riftwalker. Sometimes they'll pull the lane and then sort of use the creep wave to actually jungle. But Witchslayer obviously can't do that because he can't jungle. He doesn't really have the skill set to do that, so they have to free up a lane for him. Yeah, I think honestly BMG should perhaps be a little bit more open-eyed, or maybe a little bit more realise that this could happen. But nonetheless, they are sort of paying for it, because look at the Golden Experience League. The Parasite has been run as the jungle, but because of how Tree have done it and they've perfected it, they're actually ahead on Golden Experience because they've been.
Is this going to be enough? Yes, it is. Yep, he gets the kill. Behemoth was watching that the whole time. He was kind of going back and forth. He wanted to go in. He finally fissure stunned. He ran in with a shockwave. It didn't do the most damage, but then the follow-up heavyweight, of course, secured the job with the kill. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Crystal Fit, it's just out of range. If that hits Airwraith, a guaranteed kill. There is Grass still just ticking down, but no, not going to be enough in the end. But yeah, that's the Crystal Field. It's difficult to land sometimes. In fact, that was weird. The face suck into the dig. He actually disjoints the damage, and he gets away. Oh, this dig ability, man, it's making some big plays right here early on in this game. But here comes a massive push, though. Jeez, double catapult.
Yeah, they should be fun, though. I don't think they can really push in. It's not like they've got Ophelia. Both of those catapults are quite low as well, so Parasite couldn't take E1 over. Yeah, so push won't really come to anything, unfortunately.
He's going to be able to fight it off, and there you go. Witchslayer, again, he's level 5. So, yeah, started level 1, but we talked about, made the rotation happen, and sure enough, getting some very good levels now. Now, Bubbles, of course, has started to level up a little bit here, but still is completely really being boxed out as far as farm goes. Only has the 1 creep kill. He does have the 1 hero kill, though. That's definitely almost necessary there in that sense. Level 8 Behemoth, he is the top farmer right now for BMG. So, again, what kind of impact are we going to see from this Behemoth is really crucial. And no doubt keeps going back to him because of the role that they're playing him in. Top rune area, Deadwood catches an Amphora. And the Rotten Grasp, he did use the Willowmaker just prior to that to secure the job, so finds the support that he was looking for and picks up the kill as a result. Behemoth going bottom, by the way. No, maybe not.
Should be fun. But yeah, so unlike that last game where I think BMG run, I think it was yesterday, wasn't it, where Witchslayer was picked up for them and he was at level 1 for like the longest time. Tree obviously prioritised their farm on the secondary support, so you got level 6 Witchslayer. He's picked up his Steam Boots as well. He's eventually going to need the portal key, middle lane. That should be fun. Yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, unlike last games where he was so low level, I think he'll need portal key before he can really become effective, because that Silver Bullet can do so much work breaking in. I'm looking to sort of see when he's going to get active with it. I think, without a doubt, Cracky and Root of Z will be making a lot of plays throughout this game as a sort of a ganking combo. I look forward to sort of see that as well.
Sandwraith. Now, Sandwraith is level 6. Also got to start keeping that in mind now. Does this Legion team at least does Willowmaker, because, of course, presses that R button, can pour it in assist elsewhere, so it's a little more damage than he may expect up front, and can definitely catch you off guard, especially when it hasn't happened yet. It's one of those things like, the Sandwraith is in the game, but it's like until it actually happens, you're like, oh, that's right, he can do that. So, because, again, this isn't a hero we see often in the competitive scene.
I think if they're going to go for a Q, I think it has to be this Witch Slayer down bottom. Geomancer, even if Sandra ports in, he's got that dig ability to get away, whereas Witch Slayer doesn't have any kind of escape mechanism. And at the same time, you have to assume that Clank is farming the jungle, so he's not going to be in a position to really fight or help him. And Witch Slayer should be the easy pickings with maybe when Bubbles gets level 6. might even see maybe a Parasite Rage take down here as well. And I think if they're going to go for a gank, it's going to be on that Witch Slayer, I think.
Yeah, he is level 6 now, so he's got that silver bullet to work with here if need be, but. Yeah, that definitely seems like it could be a prime target. So, talking about Clanks and trying to stop his earlier on farm, obviously that's not happening whatsoever, and he's definitely getting at nearly 450 gold per minute. Nullstone well in the works right here, has the sustainer. Of course, middle lane, possible action. Behemoth running up right here. He doesn't have a vision another 5 seconds, as there's the Sandwraith ultimate. Is he going to go somewhere? Yes, they go to the middle lane, actually. Torture gets caught out in the midst of it all. Christoph on a Behemoth, though. Assistance from Witchslayer. He has a silver bullet, still not going to use it right there. He could use it on Witchslayer, actually, if he's not careful. And we'll see if that could possibly come up still, because they're hanging around here. As if they still want to fight this. Clanks is farming bottom. He's very low on life anyways. He doesn't even have a TP, so he's not going to be joining them, but it should be the end in the end. Oh, wow. Should be the end as a result of both teams falling back, so... A little bit of action there back and forth, but not the biggest deal there other than Behemoth getting picked off, though, and that's going to obviously delay that portal key and set BMG a little bit more behind as a result of that, because, again, he continues to be their top farmer. Sandwraith really is not getting much this game, 193 gold per minute. Safe to say BMG wants that to be a little bit better here, how things are going, but Behemoth's going to take the triple stack Ancients. We'll see if he uses a Shockwave even to get these down ASAP. Not going to do it yet, at least. Yeah, probably not. He probably just uses another fissure here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, JK.
Never mind.
I don't see why not, really. I don't think, using Shockwave when you don't have portal keys is very, very rare, because you just normally don't find the opportunity to do that. And if you're going to maybe get portal key from using the Shockwave and farming creeps, then I don't see why not, kind of thing.
Top lane, Sandwraith, no chance right there. Deadwood roaming in, however, counter kill attempt. Parasite face hug got a Geomancer. He says, dig this. Not even necessary, though. Dear. But here comes Nymphora. Kelpfield will keep Deadwood in place. Geomancer's going to be fine. Actually, here comes Clanks. They're going for a turn now. Deadwood's still alive. Fingerstone will block off Kinks. Never mind, he has the hawk up. So he just flies right over it. Flashbang, wrong direction. But Behemoth forced to go the other way as a result, and he will get picked off. So Clank's assisting somewhat right there. And yeah, that's another benefit, too. He's obviously Fidget Stun's powerful tool for blocking off enemies, but Clanks doesn't care. He just flies right over it with that hawk ability.
Yep, really nice, and they just really isolated Super KG there. And with the TP from Balthazar as well, getting active, a carry player getting active is just a team's best sort of potential, really. Because if you get a carry hero that sort of AFK farms the jungle, it's just not effective. So it's good TP the rotation there from Balthazar, and he's farming so well as well. And I sort of mentioned this in the draft as well, is that although Sandwraith can definitely contest in the late game against the Clanks, the farm is going to be so much in favour of Clanks because of just his skill set. It just allows him to farm so well. And 470 GPM compared to 200 GPM Sandwraith. I mean, I know who I'm putting my bets on in the late game just because of this farm. So yeah, and I mean, look at Tree as well. Their gold experience lead is so much in favour of Tree. And this all just goes back, honestly, to how they've effectively handled their tri-lane bottom. They stack the jungle perfectly, and they keep on stacking it as well, giving Balthazar even more and more farm, or still giving the farm over here for Witchslayer as well. Trying to secure that portal key. And actually, Witchslayer middle lane, though. Yeah,
Witchslayer going to be jumped right here. Sandwraith ports in, and down he goes. So he got a little greedy, figuring he can make something happen. But again, that's kind of that catch potential that BMG has.
I'm surprised Witchslayer wasn't farming bottom, though. Bottom lane is completely free and open, and middle lane is obviously going to be hotly contested.
Oh, Deadwood. Deadwood needs to be careful. Yep, they have a Rev War. They can see him right here. He's not going to come out, though. He's just out of range. He throws a log on Behemoth. Rock grabs, catches him. Torture trying to assist. But now Deadwood's in panic mode. Sandwraith going up the ledge, but not going to chase any further. Parasite, he ports in, or he comes here at least. But yeah, not going to be able to do much either. So all 5 heroes of BMG actually in the middle lane. They don't get a kill in the end. So yeah, you talked about it. Look at that bottom push. Yeah, somebody's got to take it. It looks like Clanks is going to head over. Take care of business right there. So he has the Nullstone, another 1,100 plus gold already saved up, nearly 500 gold per minute. Balthazar continuing to do work, and yeah, you're comparing the two and talking about it, but there's also the fact that obviously Clanks was even set up to just free farm, which he did, and then on the other side, Sandwraith was locked.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
even more to
definitely.
your point is what I'm getting at. It's
Yeah,
just like there's just so many reasons why BMG is in a difficult spot right now because how the game's played. And it keeps going back to Behemoth, though. Now, he just got enough gold for his portal key. So, again, it's not the best timing necessarily, but, hey, he will have it here, at least as soon as he purchases it. But
I think the way they should use this Behemoth portal key is I think they should try and sort of set up a kill, perhaps on the bottom lane, as I said before, and then expect Tree to rotate over with like 3 or 4, and then Behemoth should sort of sit behind them and then get like a massive shockwave. And with that, with the portal key hopefully hidden by that time, you know, it could catch Tree off guard. Because I don't think BMG can really sort of force a rotation from Tree out by pushing the lane because they don't have the greatest push potential, but they have great gank potential, and you know they can maybe bait out Tree, sort of clump up if you know they go for a kill on say Witchlat, for example.
yeah, the fact that Deadwood is also getting pretty close to that portal key, and in fact he's going to clear out some jungle creeps here. You know, we'll have it a little bit less. It's actually N4 porting into the top lane. Geomancer. Yeah, Willie noticed something's up. He's going to run into Parastar right here. Cannot dodge the face. Like, there's the jump from Behemoth.
Or they could do that,
portal key. Or they could do that. So, yeah, that's obviously they give the information away, but hey, they get a kill out of it. A very worthwhile kill in the end. As, yeah, so Geomancer dead. You see the bottom lane, though. A couple of heroes pushing in here from Willowkeeper. They're going to... You got Torturer, Witchslayer, and Clanks here. Clanks double life tube. Look at that.
Yeah, he's gonna sell it straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, just little smart little tricks that get sold. He's gonna do it again probably as well.
Yeah, why not?
Man, whenever I see carry players, it's always the carry players that try hard so much. Like, I'm not even joking. These little small tricks, it's always the carry players. Freaking tryhards.
I mean, everybody should be doing that. There's no reason why you shouldn't be. If you're next to the side shop like that, you're going to possibly go to the like he did right there. Just why not? It takes 1 or 2 seconds at the most, and you look at this life pool now. It's a lot more. It's a lot higher than it would have been. If you didn't
Hashtag the little things, man. Little things.
Exactly.
Middle lane, Nifora.
Yeah, there's the jump on Nifora. You see the Earth's Grasp applied, and it's just
man.
like...
That's such a nice combo, that is.
What can't she do? Yeah, it's like you can't run from the Earth's Grasp because you're rooted in place, and so maximum damage. Yeah, so it is magic damage, right? Yeah, okay. I was like, it was physical damage. That's crazy synergy, but no. It is the magical damage. I wonder, Portal Key also in the works for Geomancer. In fact, 2,500 gold on Deadwood now, jeez. So he has enough for that PK. I assume it's going to be a PK here.
So this core Behemoth, the thing is, obviously, whenever you see support Behemoth, normally you don't really see him get much else than just a portal key, but obviously in this game, most likely we'll see a core Behemoth get one more item. Obviously, Resto Stone on Behemoth is very much core. The only issue is that I don't think Super KG can rush a Resto Stone right now, because I don't think he'll have the mana pool to use both Shockwaves, plus maybe 2 Fishes, plus obviously the Resto mana cost. So I think he'll need a build-up, and I think one of the best build-ups for intelligence and overall synergy with the hero will be Spell Shards. It'll give him a nice amount of intelligence, sort of make sure that he can get the Resto Stone combo off, but also just good synergy in the meantime as well.
Or, hear me out here, he can go Assassin Shroud into Rift Shards. Really powerful Behemoth. And speaking of that, jumping Geomancer, picking up the kill right there, but it might come at a cost here. Deadwood coming in, Falcon Punch. Now he dodged the Rotten Grasp, so that will help a little bit, but not nearly enough. When it's all said and done, he obviously gets taken out right there. So a 1-for-1 exchange. And again, when you're Behemoth, it's your farming Behemoth versus a suicide Geomancer, so it's safe to say Tree coming out on top of that exchange. And in the meantime, Clanks is farming up a triple stack Ancients. Holy crap, man. This GPM just continues to go up and up.
Yep, definitely. Going back to your Assassin Shroud's Rift Shards, it just doesn't work, unfortunately. Like, if the Enrage was a little bit more, like I know in Dotto it's like 400% base damage, whereas in Hon it's only 200% base damage, and I just don't think it's enough to really become a core. I mean, I guess if there is probably a game to do it, it would probably be this one, because not only is your Sandwraith probably not enough to really carry against Tree, it's that Sandwraith is doing so bad, so any kind of real right-click physical presence is just not going to be able to really be dealt out by a Sandwraith. Yeah. Kill onto Balazar though, big kill.
Yeah, I missed the engagement there, honestly, but yeah, they just happen to find a Parasite with that puzzle box. He bubbles with the portal key, jumping on Clanks and sitting. Again, he's still pretty squishy despite having the Null Stone. If you find him alone especially, that could definitely set something up. So that's a great sign for BMG, and they're going to capitalize off of this. An easy tower kill in the middle lane. Also buying some more time for just overall to get some catch-up farm here against the Clanks, who was doing so well this game. So yeah, very impactful kill indeed. Is that a TP? It is. going to the top lane. So again, Geomancer, Boxy, this has happened a couple times now. Will it happen once again? He uses the dig, but that was a little too early. He did stun Behemoth, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, staying around a little too long. He threw it to Christopher. Good job by Behemoth dodging it. And actually ends up going down, so it's kind of saw that come. But again, this... So, yeah, it's been a great start here for Willowkeeper, but this is where BMG is going to start shining with that global presence. Nymphora is getting a little more active with it. Obviously, the Portal Key Behemoth, we knew that was going to have to be crucial, and so far it definitely has been pretty impactful for them. And they still have Santa Wraith who can obviously ult in. Oh, going a greedy build here with that Mocker. Brilliance, but there's a Falcon Punch initiation. The Silver Ball to follow the quick kill, but at what cost here? Devil now in trouble. Behemoth with the shockwave in the background. Torture will fall. Clanks is here though. Shrunken Head popped, and down goes Behemoth. But the puzzle box! Holy crap, that explosion! It nearly kills Clanks. It will not be enough though. He does survive in the end. As the Wizard was also chasing, but now here goes Bubbles. Like I said, they both missed the damage, but the auto attack, it might be enough. He cannot hawk over the trees. It is going to be coming back up in a second, but oh, will it matter? No, it will not. He goes down, but now Bubbles in trouble as well. He ends up falling. Nymphora's going to get caught, and Nymphora will also maybe go down. Oh, what a Zeal stun at the last second. She stays alive, throws out the heal as well as the Grace of the Nymph. Geomancer can't chase him down as a result, and Parasite is still here, good to go. Throws out the Lage, but now he is in a bad spot. So maybe hanging around wasn't the best decision. However, another Zeal's done. What plays from Pallet right here. Staying alive. Sam right now, he has the illusion. Is he going to pour it in? He is. In the background, goes on to Deadwood, and Deadwood barely out of range. Is he actually going to stay out of range right here? Tank Effect does go down as well as Pallet, by the way. Fusing gets a double tap, and Deadwood will survive, and now Sandwraith is in a lot of trouble. His Desert's Curse is worn out, but all of a sudden, Behemoth is back. This is a never-ending fight right here. I think it finally does end, though.
There's so many big plays there by obviously Palad and Super KG there. That was so unfortunate there for Haxtron. His movement speed was 398 and Balthazar's, Krake's was 400. So he's like 2 units. He just couldn't catch him, unfortunately. But alas, I think actually at the end of it, I think both teams probably traded equal. I think both were like about. I think Tree was 4.8k ahead before the team fight, and it was 4.8k after it as well.
Yeah.
So pretty much quite equal as well. One issue that Balthazar does have is Strong and Head picked up now. And I mean, we talked about how maybe Behemoth might need to rotate into like a right-click sort of carry potentially because Haxtron isn't going to be there. And Haxtron, he doesn't have the greatest farm, and at the moment, a lot of the, or most, like pretty much all the damage from BMG is becoming magical right now. And so the Strong and Head is going to do that much more work because of it. He is going for a Mock of Brilliance build, which I think I do like, because I think he needs, first of all, he needs a farming mechanism because he's so far behind on farm, and secondly, he needs to become that real hard carry. And if he doesn't go this, then he probably won't become that. But
they trying to make a play on Behemoth right there, but he's able to dodge the crystal. Again, I don't think Boxy's landed a crystal field, honestly. At least a big one. Yeah, it's hard to land though.
Yeah, it's like one of those spells though, that it's so easy to dodge because you know it's there, kind of thing. Oh, bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom
really
lane,
nice play.
Gets picked up.
Big.
How was that big? I missed it.
Oh, middle lane.
Middle lane, actually. Yeah, now Deadwood and Geomancer right here against Behemoth and Nymphora. Looks like both are going to fall back from one another, and that'll be that. By the way, Balthazar stealing their Ancients in the meantime.
Yeah, that's just the hero of Clanks, though.
Yep.
Nice little niche. Like, you can steal Ancients without any real sort of disadvantages.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bottom lane, like Ruzi portal keyed in instantly. Owned me, sort of take cover, then Ruzi just had a perfect line stun to make sure that Bubbles couldn't get away after that. So nice play. And this is why I love Witch Slayer though. Oh, Deadwood might be in trouble though.
He might be. No, he portal keys in time. That was so huge because now you can almost blame Behemoth for that though, because Wild Hunter was coming with the Invis. Obviously, Parasite was coming with the Invis Wild Hunter, and so if you just let him open right there, then there would have been no portal key from Deadwood. But he went in a little too early.
But this is why I actually love second support Witch Slayer, or just Witch Slayer in general. Like, he's able to make plays by himself. Like, what other support hero can really make plays like that? But like, I can't think of one. Perhaps Kinesis. I guess Pyromancer. I don't know about Pyromancer though, because the Dragonfire stun is so hard to hit unless you have setup.
It's like harder than a graveyard stun, yeah.
Yeah, like, or even like a minimization kind of thing. I mean, I guess it's possible, but against good players, I don't think you know, they should really be getting
he's up there on the list, if not arguably like the best at doing that. So to that argument,
that's why I just love Witchler as a sort of support.
This is interesting. And Geomancer bottles it up. He actually got it just before. They're like, wait, what just happened? Top lane in the meantime, though. Samwraith's going to be porting in. Deadwood going to be the target of choice here. Got the TP, so massive TPs. Falcon Punch on to Samwraith. He has a mock, by the way. But the Silver Bullet kicks. Connects right there's what I meant to say. And down goes Samwraith in the back. And Deadwood's alive! Oh my god, he actually survived right there. I thought Bubbles was going to finish him off at least, but no. He stays alive, and a double tap for the team as everybody lives in the end. What a turnaround. That's a TP support coming through.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, this is probably the one issue, obviously, going Mocha Brilliance on Haxorin. Like, he's so squishy. Like, you've got Witchlight and obviously Deadwood as well that have the incredible amounts of burst damage, and he's just not tanky enough to really survive any kind of combo from either one of them. I mean, I still agree with his choice, although Clanks might be in trouble perhaps on a Torture instead.
Yeah, Torture's going to be a better target, yeah. Easy kill on a Torture, unlike Clank, so they take that. Clanks will just even finish off the chain. He even knew that was happening. And in fact, Geomancer comes in, and actually, well, Balthazar comes back in and finishes off Pallet right there, so he ends up coming out pretty good in that sense. Jeez, already has a Dancing Blade here. At this point, yeah, Wingbow is a very deadly item in a hero like Clanks as well. It gives him that extra range that's just so powerful on top of everything else, so going to be an impactful item pickup. They still have the middle first tower up, which they're going to try to take out here. At about 25.5 minutes, you do see Geomancer. He runs into Behemoth in the back. That's a big catch right there, not allowing him to initiate. This time the Crystal Field hits, and this time it gets the kill. Parasite in the meantime, he takes over his Puzzle Box Minion, chasing out with the Mauler. Will it explode? Yes, it will. Not enough for the kill on Witchslayer, though. Witchslayer will fall when it's all said and done, but at a cost here. Parasite goes down. Bubbles trying to port out. He will be successful. They only got Witchslayer, though. They lose 2 heroes. Not the exchange you're looking for. And the tower did fall, by the way, in favor of Tree. So Willowkeeper has a lot of momentum rolling right now. It's going to be tough to stop.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, we talked about how Behemoth on a core role had to make something big or do something big. I really don't feel he's had the big of impact I think maybe someone else could have had. Like, if we say like a Pebbles instead of this Behemoth, like, I think Pebbles would have done a bit more, because like he's using his Shockwave to sort of get secure kills, which I think he needs to do because he needs to set up kills. But Pebbles could do that without even using, like, you know, like a big ultimate cooldown, obviously. And so I'm really not sold on this core Behemoth just yet, Breaking.
Yeah, it's I mean, it looks like he is working on the spell shards here. As he does have that Arcana. You mentioned that earlier, but oh, they were trying to get Geomancer. Now Geomancer is going to find the creep wave up here. They poured it in. It's Bubbles, Behemoth, and Amphora, but I don't know if they're going to be able to catch him. They don't know where he went. Geomancer is going to escape, so they spent a lot of time right there to get nothing in the end. And they're still kind of looking around for him. So, yeah, especially when you're already down by this much, it's time that, you know, sure, it's the idea of going for the gank is understandable, and you want that to be successful, but when it doesn't work out, it really sets you behind that much further now. As a lot more farm just continuing to add up here on the side of the Legion team. You got a Shrunken Head getting close to being finished on Deadwood. Geomancer is going to get his utility item next to the Veiled Rock Ink right here. Clanks finished the Wingbow, by the way. So what is this range? Is 650 now? Yeah, 650 because of that. That's just ridiculous for the hero that he is, especially. So powerful tool for him. You look at Witchslayer again, the Portal Key, the tablet combo for him on top of that. Yeah, it's Trees, and Trees looking for kills too. They're farming there. They're looking to farm some kills. Sandwraith is definitely a good target for that, and if Sandwraith doesn't make a move here soon, oh no, he's in a lot of trouble. There's a dig initiation. Crystal Field not going to be used just yet. It's not even close to necessary. Wow. As soon as the Falcon Punch came in, level 3, that makes sense. He just dropped immediately, and again, that's the mock. It's a greedy build, man. Yes, he kind of needed it, maybe, especially with the way the game started to get that recovery and farm, but he is just so squishy. Yeah. As a result of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, going against Witchslayer and Deadwood, perhaps in hindsight it might have been better to do something else. But I mean, he was so far behind in farm. Like, I think he had to go YOLO middle lane. So KG going to be dropping as well, and yeah, I think Tree are just a little bit too far ahead, really, to sort of for BMG to really make a comeback. I mean, they try to make a couple of kills happen with obviously the Nymphora ganks, which I think they needed to do, obviously, and try and create some space for Sandwraith, but it just seems that Tree just they really got so far ahead, and I think it all goes back to honestly the strategy they had down bottom lane. They secured it so well. They got good farm on the Witchslayer, and then obviously got Balthazar to where he is right now, 611 GPM, and there's just no way they can really control him. They have no counter. They have no way of addressing this Clanks right now, and it's being too much of a big of a problem.
Yep. See a port back from Jumper to the bottom lane, kind of defend that by himself in a sense. He has to here, and Parasite and Bubbles needs to be a little bit careful about that. But they do get the top tower, and Deadwood's not really too worried in that. He actually has to shrunken in himself now, so yeah, he's not overly concerned. You can see Parasite, he actually got hit by the tower right there, so he's actually almost dead. He's really trying to beat out this Deadwood, though, because, again, Bubbles is nearby, but not going to happen in the end. And you see at the top lane tree kind of falling back and knowing they don't really need to force anything here. They have a very comfortable lead and on the verge of trying to move along into the next round, which, again, you got Mint, who's should line up pretty well right here at about the default time is set for about 5 to 10 minutes from now. So once this game finishes up here in the near future, then could head right into it pretty quickly, which is always nice. So Parasite, though, is sitting on the level 3 puzzle box. I kind of wish, they would do like they do for the Shrunken Head and do for like a puzzle box as well, make it easier to see what level it is. I guess I don't see why not, honestly. So maybe bring that up.
All that
anyways.
codex as well.
Yeah, codex, just all those rift shards, code anything that has the build-ups on them. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so he's still sitting on that. Another 2,500 gold saved up actually on Parasite, so take a fit. He's the top farmer of the team at 320 gold per minute. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Parasite's your top farmer at 30 minutes into the game. Your team's behind by this much, so. That is what it is, and what they're having to deal with here. You got another 3,300 gold on Clanks. So expect another big item on him. I guess it'd be too late for something like a Thunderclaw now, where it wouldn't really make sense, but instead more like a raw damage, perhaps like a Rift Shards here. Savage Mace then, of course.
I think he might be going for more of a tanky build-up. Because I think if BMG are going to somehow win these team fights, I think it's bursting down Clanks before he gets off a Shrunken Head. Whereas like maybe he picks up like a Frost or Full Skull, that's just not going to happen. So I think he might go a little bit more tanky, to be honest.
Phora is probably dead. Never mind. Gonna survive. She barely kills back Samwraith. Maybe the target? Yep, he's the target. Expect 1, 2, 3. Okay, no Falcon Punch, actually.
No stun. The missed stun from Witchslayer was the reason why he survived there.
Alright. Well.
Blue silver bullet as well.
Parasite running into Geomancer right here, but a nice stun at the last second. As soon as the puzzle box came out, it will still be enough for the kill as Bubbles assists, but down goes Parasite. He does not have a bar. He does have a buyback, not going to use it though. Nim4 and Sammy Jason actually using those puzzle box minions. Clanks is.
Look at Clank, they got no way to address him.
Yeah, he's just like, guys, I'm right clicking everything to death. There's the Flash Bang right there, chasing down Behemoth now instead. Behemoth has a Shockwave still. It's not really going to do the most damage though. A little bit of good damage. Stun locking him down, trying to just survive right here, but again, Clank's flying over the trees as he does, and a hat trick coming out for Balthazar just like that. So it actually is, I mean, BMG was actually going pretty strong in that fight, honestly, up until Clank started right-clicking, and then everything died. He's level 23 already. Holy crap.
Yeah. They just, unfortunately, don't have a carry to really contest his sort of just presence in the team fights, unfortunately. Yeah, Tree had a really nice laning phase, and again, no break. And I think, honestly, we talked about obviously at the start of the game. I think BMG is a little bit to blame in that they didn't really try and address the sort of clockwork sort of strategy that Tree did down bottom lane. Obviously, they got him level 5, then he took over the jungle, and he just skyrocketed his farm, while Haxtrim was having barely any farm because he was getting contested by Geomancer so much. And I mean, it's not too hard to really sort of watch a couple of games, realise actually this is the strategy that they might be pulling out here. Let's try and counter it by doing this, for example. And instead they just let it happen. They didn't even contest some of the Root of Z's farm either. So he's picked up his portal key, had a couple of big important team fight kills as well. So yeah, and I mean they're only obviously the ones to blame, for example. But
yeah.
And this Behemoth core, man, I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, the idea is fun, and hey, I would love to see it really kind of work. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, and there's a reason why maybe it's not as popular of an option as, like you said, the Pebbles is basically what he's replacing here. It's like, what, is this really better than the Pebbles? Is what you constantly have to look back at. So.
Like, if you really break it down, like I'm talking about, his impact has been getting some big pickoffs, obviously with the Shockwave, and it's like, well, if you're going to be using that, then the Pebbles could do the same thing, but just probably a bit more effective, a bit more efficient. So, yeah, as you said, but I think they picked up. I think they picked up Behemoth, thinking he's to be played as a support, but then they thought let's pick up Nim4 and play him as a core. It's not backfired, obviously.
Well, yeah. I want to say, yeah, well, I would have to look back at the draft to see exactly. I want to say they picked up Parasite and then the Behemoth after. So
yeah, you can play Parasite Behemoth. Like Behemoth can still be played as
main
support.
Behemoth. Yeah, I guess that's not another question. Yeah, so maybe that was the case, and then something just changed there mid-draft. But in the end, it is what it is, and obviously you're having to deal with it here. Not much they can do about that at this point. Hoping that could still some way somehow work out. Getting him level 60 would be a good start. Torturer, he's in a bad spot right here, but he has a team nearby, so by bad spot, I mean get baited, son. And that's just what happened right there. So Tankafed falls for it, and he ends up going down. Frost with Skull, by the way, on Clank, so yeah, goes back
so he does
tanking up a little bit.
Yeah, I thought so. It just makes sense, though, because if he does get caught out by like a Behemoth and Parasite Bubbles jump, for example, he might be in trouble. But with his Frost with Skull, he's going to be fine, so... And he's going to kill Congo, he's going to take Token, and then they're going to push on Rex and take the win.
That is the idea here. See that double damage rune assisting with it, so there's the Congo kill, picks up the Token. Gonna be heading towards mid. You look at the bottom, Behemoth is actually cleaning up the lane quite a bit and putting some pressure on the base, but there's no way he's going to be able to race right here, obviously, so... We'll start porting back and get back to the base before too much happens. So you got Parasite in about 20 seconds, Bubbles about 15 here. Parasite does have a buyback, so if they really find it necessary, but might as well wait it out at this point. That's probably what we're going to see happen here. Nullfire play, by the way, on Boxy coming out right here. And there's a couple of uses of that.
Deal with the puzzle box, I think.
That, yeah.
All the Samurai Delusions.
I was going to say, that's the first thing that came to my mind was the Samurai Delusion, but yeah, puzzle box as well. Geoman's going to jump, and he actually purchased Behemoth right there.
So nice.
That wasn't even the Christopher damage. That was just, obviously Silver Bullet was a lot of that. Christopher went up after, so quick kill on a Behemoth, and yeah, taking him out. Now he has a buyback, so really, maybe a Kelfield here. Oof, I thought they might have gone for something. Well, Samrath isn't even here, but again, he presses R and he is. He has enough for a Shrunken Head, by the way. He has 3,900 gold on him, with a Mighty Head already picked up.
Oh, nice
to jump in the background. He needs to get in soon, man. And there's the buyback on Behemoth. Are we going to see that Shockwave? Is it going to be big? Probably not. Torture does get locked down, though. There's a Shockwave in the background on a Witch Slayer, actually. He's hunting him down. So Witch Slayer is picked up, but Baltazar is just wrecking face in the background himself. Behemoth, now he's going to get caught. Falcon Punch onto him, actually. And that was just right-click damage again. And hat-trick coming up for Baltazar yet again. He wants a quad kill, or at least a tower kill. He's still holding his ground, actually. He has a token, so I guess he's not too concerned.
He should be able to kill all 3 of these, probably.
Isn't that sad? But yeah, it is true. He has another Hawk coming up in 3 seconds, so they're going to try to chase him down. I don't know if they know what they're getting into, though. Here come the right clicks. All of a sudden, Parasite's just about dead, and he's dead. Now Samurai's turn. It's not going to count as a quad kill, but still. Is it another kill? It's in range. Just in range. Hey, no, just in range. Right click. There you go. There's the wingbow kicking in. Another trip or hat trick. And the boat to concede.
And he's dead.
And Baltazar is going to finish the game with 750 gold per minute. So, well, Blanks is scary when he free farms, I think, is the lesson we learned yet again here. Yeah, and
again, I think it just goes back to what happened at the start of the game, like when he was giving complete free farm in the jungle. And now I was talking to Insane again a couple of weeks ago, and he sort of said, "Tree are so predictable. All you got to do is watch a couple of replays, and you know how to sort of beat them. You know how to sort of play against them." And I guess BMG just didn't do their due diligence and didn't sort of check out any replays, because otherwise they probably would have expected that to happen. I mean, if you allow Clank sort of free farm, get this much space, then this is what's going to happen. Put at the end of the day. Obviously, the core Behemoth was a slight issue, but I think the biggest issue was obviously that Tree they were allowed to play their way. They were allowed to sort of play their signature way, and if you allow them to sort of play the sort of strategy they want to do, then they're gonna beat you. Put simply, you have to sort of throw a wrench into the game plan.
Yeah.
And BMG unfortunately just didn't do it.
Yeah, worked out in game number 1. They were looking very strong, honestly, but game 2, different story, and especially game 3, a much different story. Tree just had control really from the beginning. 15, 2, and 3 score for Baltazar right there, but 5, 1, and 19 for Krake. So he was very involved in that deal with a lot of assists.
Yeah,
making
really
sure to make some kills happen. So yeah, overall, a great team effort as usual, and Tree does move on. So that means it's going to be Willowkeeper versus Mint in the following round matchup. They met twice, I believe it was, in the last cycle as well, and I think Mint won the first time, and then Willowkeeper won the second time. So Perhaps one to decide it really here. It's going to be next. And I think it's safe to say, again, the match that we're going to be looking to cover there is going to be that one as well. The other one is Nullstone